Good afternoon and welcome back. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Just before the weekend last Friday, our new Safer at Home order went into effect, which allows public libraries and arts and crafts stores to offer curbside pickup and allowed golf courses to open back up across the state. As I mentioned last week, the good news is that our Safer at Home order is less restrictive than many other Safer at Home orders still in effect across our country. You've likely heard me talk about reopening our economy, and I've said all along that it needs to be more like turning a dial than flipping a switch. No one wants to open our economy as much as I do, and we're working to do everything we can to make sure we can do so as soon as we safely and responsibly can. And that's why today we're announcing a new order that, coupled with our Safer at Home order that went into effect last week, turns the dial a notch by allowing non-essential businesses to do more than they were able to do before. Under our original Safer at Home order, non-essential businesses were only able to do things like process payroll and employee benefits or preserve inventory or equipment. So there are some big changes in that order that went into effect last week and the order we announced today. So I want to spend a bit of time just talking about what our new Safer at Home order means for families and small businesses across our state. That means every business across our state can do things like deliveries, mailings, curbside pickup, and curbside drop-off. So for example, whether you're an upholsterer, a taxidermist, a dog groomer, or you rent recreational equipment like kayaks, paddle boats, or canoes, you'll be able to provide some of those services under our new order. Now, we still need folks to do this safely. So if you're in a business who wants to start doing deliveries, mailings, curbside pickup, or drop-off, we still need you to help us make sure that our workers and folks across our state can stay safe while supporting our local businesses. That means we still want those operations to be able to be performed by one staff person in a confined space. Services must be paid for online or by phone, and customers can't be inside the business or facility. This is an important step in making sure that while folks are staying safer at home, they can also continue to support small businesses across our state. If you have additional questions on how to make sure you're taking the necessary steps to keep your workers, business, and customers safe, please visit wedc.org. While we're turning the dial a notch on what some of our businesses can do, we're not out of the clear just yet on Safer at Home. Secretary Palm will give an update on today's COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin in just a few minutes. But over the past few days, we've seen some concerning numbers, including the largest single-day increase in positive cases since the COVID-19 outbreak started. In particular, and I know some folks asked about this last week, we are working hard to address the increases in Brown County. Our folks have been working around the clock to address the rise in cases in Brown County, and I've spoken to County Executive Troy Streckenbach to offer state support to bolster their testing and contact tracing efforts in the area. But what we're seeing in Brown County and others in our state underscores the importance of taking a statewide approach to Safer at Home right now. I know folks have asked about reopening rural communities sooner and taking a more piecemeal approach, and I hear those concerns. Here's the deal though, an outbreak in a rural area where access to healthcare is already limited and healthcare resources are scarce could have the potential to severely overwhelm local governments and local healthcare workers. We don't want that to happen. That's why we continue to monitor the data and why, for now, we are continuing to ask everybody to stay safer at home. Working to flatten the curve is critically important. It's also why we're taking a phased approach with our Badger Bounce Back Plan, which provides benchmarks for our state so that we have a better idea who's sick and who's not, where the disease is progressing and where it's abating, and what medical resources are available in each community. It's a data-driven approach to keeping people safe. There have been a lot of questions about setting a date for when more businesses will reopen. Again, the good news is that especially compared to some of our neighboring states, Wisconsin has a significant number of businesses that have reopened and many more that never closed in the first place. There are tens of thousands of people working every day around the state. We know that people continue to do essential activities like grocery shopping and picking up medicine. We've opened up activities like golf, expanded curbside pickup for many retailers, and continue to evaluate ways that businesses can operate safely. I've had many discussions with business owners and business leaders across the state, as well as many working folks, and we will keep those conversations going as we continue to turn the dial. We have to be patient, and I know that this is tough on workers and businesses and consumers alike. Everyone depends on a thriving economy. But I have faith in Wisconsinites, and I know we will get there if we continue to flatten the curve and we continue to develop testing, contact tracing, and PPE components that we need. We will start on the road back.